Yo, what's up, guys? Today I just wanted to talk about why it's so important to learn how to sell before you actually build your product. A lot of you guys might be thinking about, getting starting your own business, getting into the entrepreneurship game and creating a product that's going to sell forever, maybe even creating an ebook that's going to sell forever, or creating, a t-shirt or a clothing company that's going to sell forever. But in order to do that, you have to test the idea first before you build the product. Before you spend the money, that you're working your job, it's hard work, and you're spending your earned income on inventory for the product, designs, advertisements, marketing, videos. You're buying cameras. You're renting out studio spaces to film content. You have to test the idea first to make sure that it works. That's one of the most important things. And then that's why some people say sales is the most important skill, because when you learn sales, you don't have to actually make the product. You don't have to make the product. You can actually sell the idea, and then you can outsource people who are better at making the product, because you're just a beginner. So sometimes it's hard to make an actual great product, or to actually get the people involved that can make the great product. You can actually find people who know more knowledge than you do, and then outsource to them. So what you can do is sell the idea, get the money, and then give a certain percentage to those people who can actually get the product going. Most businesses, they don't fail because the product was bad. They fail because nobody wanted it in the first place. So a lot of people spend months and years, they build something that people actually want, only to actually get it, and then boom, silence. So, if you do a product launch and you think everybody wants this product, because I want it, and then you launch the product, silence. Nobody wants the product. One of the most powerful things you could do if you're a content creator right now, or if you're, if you have some sort of audience, you can go ahead and give them surveys. Give them a survey for free, and let them, and give them an incentive after the survey. Like, okay, after the survey, you guys can get this discounted product or whatever. When I drop the product, you guys can get it 50% off, since you guys are the first people to have done this survey. And then in the survey, you ask them, what are their goals, what are their ambitions, and they'll tell you, in the survey. And then you ask them, well, how much, what is the best price range for products that you will buy, that you feel most comfortable with. And then boom, right there, they're literally telling you what product they like. By looking at their goals and ambitions, you can create a product around that. So once you create a product around that, and then you see the price range, now you have a great product you can launch, and those people will actually buy. And then on top of that, it's 50% off, so now they have way more incentive to buy. So you have to validate with pre-sales. It doesn't mean scamming people. It means being transparent. So you're building a product, you want early access. Like I said, the discount, reserve your spot today. If you get traction, what I'm saying, then that's when you actually launch the product. So test the message. So selling before you build also forces you to test your message. So the truth is, features, they don't sell, the message actually does. So when you try to pre-sell, you quickly find about, do you understand what problem this solves? Having that pain point problem is a very important thing. Is it painful enough that they'll actually pay? Will they exchange their money with you for that desired outcome? So that's very important. You have to find the pain point. And then also trust. Do they trust you to actually deliver the product? Do you have proof of that you delivered results over time? So this is when content comes into a big play. So if you've actually been producing content that help your viewers for over a long period of time, or if you've been producing PDFs, or you've just been giving them free nuggets, they're going to look to you as somebody who they trust, and somebody who can actually deliver results, because you have delivered results for them in the past for free. So now that you have something that you're offering monetarily, they're going to go ahead and take advantage of that, and they're going to want to pay, and they're going to want to get that access that they feel like they couldn't get with you for free. They want to get that exclusive access. So that's why it's very important to to build that trust with your clients. And you can also use scarcity and proof as well when you're developing these products. So you don't need a massive audience, right? You need the right people. So Offering something like, founders edition, limited to 50 spots, early bird pricing for the first 20 customers is going to create urgency. And even if you have small wins like a testimonial, a case study, or even personal stories, that's what you should use as well to build proof when you're developing your scarcity and your proof. You have to make sure that you're giving refunds, right? If the product doesn't work or if people don't like the product, you're going to give them full refunds for their money, because that's going to also build the trust, and it's going to help with your scarcity and your proof as well, which is going to help with conversion rates. Um, Also, you can do for scarcity as well. Good thing to do is, limited checkouts. You can put a timer on your website, so you can say, this is only 50% off for a certain amount of time, maybe 1 week, and make sure that it's not a fake timer, but it's a real timer. It's 1 week, and then once that 1 week goes out, you then can offer the product at the regular price, and then people will actually email you, and they'll ask you if they can get it back at discount. But you have to stick to your word. If you put that timer there, make sure that that timer is there, and you're not tampering with that timer, because that's scarcity and proof will increase your conversion rates. And it's something that helped me as well when I was doing Shopify and these things, to make timers, because it definitely increased your conversion rate. So you should iterate before you build, right? So um, this is technically where the magic happens, when you do iterations before you build. So the objection people will give you when they try to pre-sell, that's going to be your blueprint for what to build. So listen to the objections that your clients give you when you're trying to pre-sell them. When you're doing the surveys, listen to what they say that they don't want. So that's something that you should not include in your product. So you have to be very keen and very attentive to those things, because that's going to help you build a master product that is going to actually let you be in business for months and months to come. And then you can continue to refine it by listening to what your customer says, not to what you say, because you're not your customer. You have to listen to the feedback. Look at the reviews of your product that the customers say, because when you can edit that, or maybe you can even create different variations of that, like Gymshark, for example. Some people like sweaters, some people like hoodies, some people like the tight fitting ones, some people like the baggy size ones. If they just created tight fitting clothing all the time instead of the baggy ones, they would lose out on those customers that enjoy having baggy sweaters and going to the gym. So you should listen to your customers, because that's what's going to help you as well. Um, so yeah, that's really what my takeaway is for this video, is just don't build first, sell the idea first, and then build. That's very important. It's going to help you save money in your front end, especially with inventory, cost for products, and it's going to save you a lot of time. And also, you're going to have way better conversion rates when you're listening to your customers and what they want. And you can go ahead and launch your product, and you'll be pretty successful after that product launch. So if you guys like this video, subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.